So hello everyone, today we are going to start with lecture number 15 in which we are going to make one part exercise to revise all the commands we have learned in previous lectures. So to start with, I am going to refer this part. You can see here. First we are going to make this bottom plate, then these four pillars. Lastly we are going to go for this shape by extrusion. Then we are going to make all the cuts required here. So to start with, I am going to draw this base plate here. Both the sides of these plates are curved, so I'm going to start with circle. So to start with, I have solid edge interface. Going to select sketch and say top plate. We need to keep in mind all the orientations required. That's why we have taken top plane here. Now we are going to draw one circle with the radius of 100 mm. So the diameter will be 200 here. I'll take 200 as diameter. Next, the total width of this plate is 120, 60 on both the sides from the center. So for that, we are going to draw one line here and make this line construction. For that, I'm going to select this command, say construction. Next, we are going to go for offset command. I'll say 60 mm on both the sides, one by one. First 60 on upper side and then the lower side. Next, we are going to trim the extra entities here. Still this sketch is coming underdefined, then we'll click on the sketch and we'll drag here. So here we can see, I'll say this radius only as 100. Now this complete sketch has been defined. We are going to make extrude. For that, say close sketch. And now we need to select the thickness for the extrusion. So here the thickness will be a little bit calculative way. Direct dimension is not given here. So this total overall height is 45. Okay, so from this base face to the inner face, as this part is hollow, this distance is given 24 and the above distance is given 15. You can see here, this distance is given 24 and the above distance is 15. So if we calculate, this thickness will come as 6 mm. 45 minus 39, addition of both the values, then the thickness will be 6 mm. So here 24 plus 6 means the overall extrusion of this plate, the height of this plate till the upper face is 30 mm, the total height of the plate. So here I'll say extrude boss, select the sketch, say OK, and we are going to extrude it till 30 mm here. Next we are going to do here is shell, so as to make hollow. So for shell in solid edge, the command is given as thin wall. We have calculated the thickness here. This thickness, this common thickness, here it is going to come 24 plus 15 was 39 and the total height was 45. So if you minus 39 from 45, the thickness will come here 6 mm. So I'll take this thickness as 6 mm only. For making the part hollow, I need to show open faces. I'll say this face and say OK. Say preview. Next thing we are going to here is to make these pillars. So to start with these pillars, we can see the bottom face of this pillar is flushed with the bottom face of the plate. So I am going to select the bottom face only to make the sketch for this pillar. So I'll select this bottom face here. Say sketch on this face. And now we are going to draw a circle here. The diameter for the outer circle is given as 26 and the position is, the total distance between the two cylinders is 114. So we have to take half of this distance from the center so as to locate this part, and the center of this shaft is at the edge of the plate and the center of this guide pillar is at the edge of this plate. So we have taken this edge as a reference and from center we need to give the distance here again 114 by 2. Next we are going to provide the diameter here, that will be 26. Next thing we are going to do here is extrude. So the height of this pillar is given 35. Say finish, cancel and extrusion. Say OK. We need to say add so as to add the material. Next the height will be 35. Say finish and cancel. So after making this one pillar, I am going to pattern this pillar here. Before that we are going to make the cut also here so as to pattern them both at one time. So to start with the cut, again say extrude, select the face, say coincide plane, then select the face. Now we need to make circle here so as to make the cut. The diameter here will be 12 mm. So now for the cut we are going to say extrude again. Select the option as coincide plane. Select the reference plane. We need to make this circle here. The circle diameter is given 12. So if you want to see the diameter, you can see here. This internal diameter here it is given as diameter 12. Say smart dimension and diameter as 12. The end condition is given as through all. So here we need to cut the material. Say finish and cancel. Now we need to pattern both the features together, that is boss and cut. For that we are going to select pattern feature. In feature we are going to select both the features. Say OK. Say the reference face. Next we need to say the rectangular pattern here. And we need to refer this center so as to start the reference line. Next we are going to select the type of pattern required. So I'm going to say fixed, in which I am going to put x and y distances as well as entities to require in x and y direction. So here the number of entities is already shown that we require in x direction is 2 and y also 2. Next we are going to put the value. The center to center distance is 114 horizontally and 120 vertically. You can see here these values are given 114 and 120. Next thing we are going to say is close sketch and the patterns will be formed. Here it is given radius 2 on each pillar as a fillet and the chamfers also on the cut inside, but we are going to make them later. First we are going to make all the extrusions here, then we are going to go for cuts and then modification commands. So now the next extrusion we are going to make is this digit. For that I am going to say sketch on this face. Select the face. We'll go with the circles here. There are two circles. Now the distances between them, the horizontal distance from center to center is given 60 mm and the vertical distance here is given as 15 mm. The diameters given are 60 here and this is 82. Next we are going to position it. This larger circle is at 17 mm from the center of this pillar horizontally and vertically we are going to give this value as 60. So now this sketch is completely positioned here. We need to say trim command. Select the trim. Say close sketch. Say finish. Cancel. Now we'll say extrude here. Select the option as select from sketch. I'll select this sketch and say OK. Now the extrusion height here is given as 15 mm. You can see here. This above extrusion is of 15 mm. This shape. So here I am going to say 15 mm extrusion. Next, two more extrusions are required here with the same centers of these two circles but at the bottom side. So for that we are going to make this part transparent here. So I'll say view styles and I'm going to go for this option, that is view styles showing wireframe. Next we are going to say sketch on this internal face. We are making these extrusions. You can see here in top section view this 38 diameter and this 50 diameter. Both the extrusions are given at the center of these holes. That's why we are going to take centers of these two circles only for extrusions. So here the bigger circle is having diameter of 40 mm. And next we are going to say extrude through this one. So the extrusion here is given as, first we'll change the view style first, make it normal and now say extrude. Select the sketch, say OK. So this extrusion we required here is, the distance is not given directly, but you can see from above face the distance is given 26. So you can calculate here, this was 15 mm and this thickness was 6 mm. 15 plus 6 is 21. So if we minus 21 out of this 26, this extrusion size is coming 5 mm. So I'll say this extrusion as of 5 mm here. Say finish, cancel. Next we are going to hide the sketch. Again we are going to say sketch on the lower side. Make this part transparent to take the center. Here there is one diameter more, that is 38 mm. I'll say 38 and again make extrusion of 5 mm here. So here both the extrusions are made. Now we are going to go for the cuts. So to start with the cuts, I am going to make this cut here. It is like counter bore only. Upper diameter is having diameter 35 and lower is 28. So I'm going to select this sketch and make this circle of 35 having depth of cut as 5 mm. So here the diameter will be 35 and the cut size will be 5 mm here. Depth of cut, say finish, cancel, extrude, select the sketch, say OK, and the cut will be of 5 mm. Say finish and cancel. Next we are going to go for this cut again but with diameter of 28. So I'll say sketch on this face, make a circle again, say diameter as 28, say close sketch, and now the cut is to be made, say finish, cancel. I'll select the sketch, say OK, and here the cut has been made, finish and cancel. Next we are going to go for this cut now. So here the diameter is different, that is of 40 mm, and the cut is through all. So again extrude, select the type here as coincide plane. Next we are going to make the circle here with diameter of 40 and the cut depth will be through all. So here diameter has been made and now we required cut here through all only, say finish, cancel. Now we are going to go for these holes here. You can see there are tap holes been given of M12 with the depth of 15 mm and the thread depth of 10 mm. You can see here the thread depth is given 10 and overall depth of hole is given 15, size is M12 and the type of hole here is taken as tap hole. So we'll start with the tap hole here. We'll make this vertical hole first and now they are arranged on the PCD here. You can see this PCD circle of diameter 61. So I'll take the radius as 30.5. Select the hole tab here. Click on this face and position the hole first. Here we need to show the reference from the center as 30.5 vertically. So I'm going to add the relation here. Next the distance here as 30.5 as radius. Say close sketch first and then go for the type of hole. I'll say tap hole with size M12 and the depth here is given as finite extent 15 mm. The thread depth here is given different. I'll go for this finite extent option and the thread depth is given 10 mm. Say finish, cancel. You can see here this tap hole is been made but we need a V bottom at the bottom. So for that I'm going to say edit again. Go in the options. Next we are going to select the option as V bottom angle and then say OK. Say finish. Now this hole is completely made with having threads 10 mm depth and overall depth is 15 mm. Size is M12. Next we are going to go pattern again. Says pattern. Select the required feature to be pattern. Select the face on which we require pattern. Then we need to select the type of pattern. We will say circular pattern and next we are going to select the center of the hole with center of the feature. You just need to show the direction and then number of entities required. So the number of entities required here are, there are total 6 entities here. So I'll say this number of entities as 6. You can see here. Then say close sketch. And this complete pattern has been made of tap holes. Next we are going to go for fillets and chamfers. So here the radiuses were 2 mm on the shafts at the outer edges. So I'm going to select 2 and you just need to select all the edges here at one time only. Then say OK, review and finish. Next we are going to go for chamfer. So the chamfer internal cut was given 1.5 by 45. So this internal cuts chamfers were given. I'm going to select the chamfer tab now. Select the face, say OK. Now we are going to say loop here. Select the edge reference 1.5 into 45. Say OK. And then we need to select the other edges also here. Select the face and say OK again and then edge. And we are going to continue this option. Say finish. Again select the face. Say OK and then select the edge. Say finish. Select the last face. Say OK and the required edge. Say OK. Now this complete chamfers are being made on all the sides. After that we are going to go for these rounds here. So here at the edge corner of this 8 shaped extrusion is 3 mm, and the internal corners vertically are radius of 10 mm. So again round, select this edge, same this edge also here with radius of 3 mm, say preview and finish. Next this vertical edges with the radius of 10. We'll do one thing, we'll make this radius 10 fillets first and then go for the radius 3 fillet. So here the radius 10 on both the sides. Preview and finish. Again we'll go for the radius here. I'll take this as 3 and select the corners here. So now the radius are been made. Next, this bottom plate is also having radiuses here. Now the radius for this vertical corners is given 18 and the horizontal corners of the plate, all the edges is given as radius 10. So here we are going to select the round command. Select this edges here and say OK. After that we are going to go for this edges here with radius of 10 mm here. This last edge, say preview and finish. It is not taken completely, so we'll go one by one only. Next, this edge, same with radius of 10, say preview and finish. Again the other edges with same radius of 10 mm here, so OK and finish. So now this part is completely been made, you can see here. I'll arrange it in isometric view by clicking on this cube here, on this triangular portion. Next, if we need to apply the appearances here, we'll go for the appearances in view tab, say part painter, and then I'll select this body here. I'm going to select the selection as body only, and we are applying here, see the feature as silver. So this part you can see here, it is completely made of silver. If you want to change the colors for the features again, you can go for this option. And now after applying appearance, this complete portion has been made. You can see here, still the last extrusion is remaining. So again we'll go for this sketch, say this face. We are going to make this circle again. And here the diameter we require is, the lower diameter is given 50. So this diameter will take 50 mm. Again go for this extrude boss. After updating the value, we'll go for this project entities. We want this whole also, and then say close sketch and extrusion. Say finish, extrude. Select both the sketches here. Say OK. And at the bottom we want the height as 5 mm. Here also rounds are given. I'll hide the sketch first. And for these below rounds, the value is given as radius 3, you can see here. So again go for the round command. Select the rounds, say these values as 3 and say OK. Preview and finish. Now this part is completed here. So here this was the part practice in session number 15. If you want more parts to be made for practice, then please comment us in comment section. We'll stop here. Till then, thank you.